All right, the recording has started. And again, good evening, everyone. My name is Tanya Cobb, and I am the district lead counselor for Rockdale County Public Schools. And I am excited to welcome you to our first virtual district-wide elementary to middle school transition night. We are excited to have all of our families here with us. We are excited to see some of our elementary school counselors on with us tonight and excited to see one of our assistant superintendents for elementary schools on with us. So thank you for joining us, Ms. McLean. I also see Mr. Johnson and our counselors on from Shoal Creek. I may be missing a few others, but our counseling department is top notch here in Rockdale County Schools, and we are definitely a family. So I am excited that they're on to join us. I am going to share my screen. And I'm going to ask my middle school counselors, is this full screen?
Yes, ma'am.
All
Yes.
right, awesome. So here we go, guys. So on with us this evening is Mr. Cunningham, who is a sixth grade counselor at Conyers Middle School. We have Ms. Seymour, who is one of our counselors at Davis Middle School. Miss Robinson, who is one of our counselors at Edwards Middle School, and Miss Key, who is one of our sixth grade counselors at Memorial Middle School. So we have your future school counselors, students. So students, if you are here with us tonight, you will see your future school counselors talking to you this evening. I hope that makes you very excited. Our plans for this evening are first, to provide you, parents and students, with tips to ease the transition from elementary school to middle school. We want to ensure that we explain the middle school day and schedule because we know that it is a little different or a lot different, as you will see, than your elementary school day. We want to acquaint you with Infinite Campus, parents, and discuss the communication tools that the district uses. Parents, as you will begin to see, as your children get older and as they progress in grades here in Rockdale County Public Schools, Infinite Campus is your friend. We want you to become so familiar with Infinite Campus that you have the app on your phone, that you know how to get to the parent portal on Infinite Campus on your computer, and you're checking it weekly. That is what we want. So we're going to show you all that Infinite Campus has. We also want to familiarize the student and the family with key elements to prepare you for middle school. So students and parents, it's a whole new world. You are going to middle school and we hope you are excited. So when you get to go to middle school, there's flag football, there's football, so you actually get to play sports. And parents, I can tell you, Wednesday nights are exciting nights when you get to middle school because that's sixth grade, that is middle school night at the field. There's softball for girls, there's basketball, there's track, wrestling, cheerleading, band, fine arts, clubs, organization, and just that overall school pride. You had it at elementary school. Now it's time to change those t-shirts and put on those middle school t-shirts and begin to exhibit that middle school pride. We want to introduce you to Dr. Ming, who is over the Fine Arts Program district-wide. Dr. Ming is going to share some information with our parents and students on fine arts. Dr. Ming?
Hey, thanks, Tanya, and welcome to everybody. I'm so glad to see such a great crowd out there tonight for this very important meeting. And I am pleased to be here to talk to you for just a minute about fine arts programs in your middle schools. You see on the screen listed the programs that are available at each of the middle schools. And I would encourage you to talk about what your students are interested in with them and help them to make a decision, because middle school really is a time when you can start honing in on your the things that you love to do. And so I know there's a lot of students out there that love to draw and to paint and to make things with clay. So they may choose to go into art. Sixth grade is definitely the time if you're wanting to start an instrument. So if you want to play the flute or the trombone or the saxophone, band is going to be your choice. And that's the perfect time to get involved in that. That can carry you all the way through high school and end up with great scholarship opportunities for being in the band even in college. My son was actually in the Georgia Tech marching band after he started on the baritone in sixth grade and went all the way through high school. The same with chorus. If you love to sing, that's a great opportunity for you to be in a class where you do that for one whole class period a day. You learn more about music and you learn more about music theory, and you also have a chance to perform together. I find that an orchestra, the same. If you are in a school that has orchestra, that's also a great time to start a strings instrument. And of course, theater for those actors. If you'll be at Davis, they do have a theater program. And all of our fine arts students and communities tend to form almost like a family. So when you're involved in these different activities, because you do spend a lot of time together during class and then also outside of class preparing for concerts and festivals and things like that, you do get to know those people quite well. And it's nice, I think, to have that sort of a relationship with people that you're going to school with. You'll also have opportunities to participate in exhibits and competitions and to travel different places. If we're able to travel next year, then we'll begin traveling again to perform in different areas and participate in additional competitions and things like that. And then I want to add just one other thing that I think is so important about these fine arts programs is they really do. These teachers are so passionate at all of these schools. These teachers are so passionate and they work so hard with these students. And in addition to teaching them about art, band, chorus, orchestra, or theater, they also teach them to have a very disciplined attitude, and they teach them the professionalism that comes along with being involved in these different fine arts programs. So we just had our honor band performances over the weekend, and they did a spectacular job, and they looked great, and they came in like professionals. So it was really exciting to see, even with the beginning band, which was some sixth, seventh, and eighth graders. They looked like a professional group. So I would encourage you strongly to look at your fine arts opportunities and to encourage your student to take part in one of those for the upcoming year. And please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about fine arts in your school.
Greetings, I'm Mr. Cunningham, and I'm going to go over what fifth graders are excited about. When you think about sixth grade, it brings on a variety of vibrations and nervousness and all that great energy that you're going to need to play with. So one of the great things that fifth graders are excited about is more freedom. They feel oftentimes that this is an opportunity for them to explore their identity and some of the things that they have always wanted to do in school. Having more than one teacher is another primary adjustment that goes on in sixth grade. So that's going to be very exciting, having more than one teacher and adjusting to those different personalities and all of that good stuff. I'm currently the sixth grade counselor, and it is just amazing just to hear the students share their experiences from fifth grade to sixth grade. After school clubs and activities is another factoid that fifth graders are really excited about. and learning about after school clubs, activities, and things that they can do. I've even had some students come and say, hey, can we start this club? Can we create a student council? So it is good for sixth graders to explore their leadership potential and opportunities as well. Sixth grade is also a time to think about and get excited about um, meeting new friends. It is really a good time to do that because when you have students coming from different elementary schools, you're going to see new faces, you're going to learn new personalities in addition to your teachers. You're going to also have new classes. Fifth graders are excited to go to new classes and their different experiences that they will have in those new classes. And ultimately, the social time lunch is always something to look forward to. Even to this day, it is an amazing time where students can talk, debrief, talk about what went on in class, and maybe even the lesson a lot of times is what I overhear students talking about is the lesson that they learn. But there are some things that they're nervous about. Now, nervousness is not always negative. There's a positive side to nervousness. Now, in some schools, there are combination locks, meaning that students might have a locker. So in that case, remembering the combination might be a big deal. Finding their way around the school might be one of the biggest challenges, at least the first few weeks, maybe the first month. So don't be alarmed. As a counselor and as teachers, we are really helpful in ensuring that students are able to get around the school and to also know trusted adults that can show them where they need to be, because most students in most cases are escorted to their classes and to lunch and even to their entry and out points when it's time for dismissal. Once again, having more than one teacher is a nervous point. Also, the amount of homework. Well, I believe that most of the sixth grade teachers understand sixth grade and the fifth grade transition. So homework is sometimes understandable for sixth grade minds to get around. So therefore, there's no need to be too nervous about the homework. I think if you stay in communication with the teachers throughout the years and parents also, then you will be able to make the homework digestible and understand the teacher's reasoning for giving that homework. Sometimes it's about really understanding the purpose behind why homework is assigned, and then it can actually give students an opportunity to synthesize what middle school is going to be like for their whole middle school career. Meeting new people is once again something to be nervous about, but if we always remind our students what school is about and their academics and their development, social emotional development, and their identity as they become, then we won't have to worry about the idea of meeting new people, because that is a lifelong endeavor that they will learn to enjoy. So sixth grade might be the start of learning how to get along with new people and work things out. So it's enjoyable. Our next slide goes into depth about what students are worried about. So what am I worried about? And I know that a lot of sixth graders and entering, or fifth graders now entering into sixth grade, there is a sense of worry. Listen, I talk to the eighth graders at Conyers Middle School and I say, hey, are you nervous to go to high school? And they say, absolutely. So I can understand fifth grade going into sixth grade can really be a shock to the senses. Well, one of the things is middle school, fifth to the sixth grade, you might be worried about what to wear. Should I wear these color shoes? What can I wear? What should I be thinking about when I look into the mirror on my way to school? Well, that's one of those things that you'll learn even from other friends and learning, how to dress. So it will come with time. Going from, let's go down the line, changing clothes in PE. Yep, that's one of those things where you might have to get used to, because PE is a different subject and you might have to learn how to change clothes quickly because you got to get out there and be ready for the next event and then you have to do that all over again when it's time to go back to class. So it really is a mental or a mind change when you go to sixth grade. Also, some may be worried that I'll forget my locker combination. Once again, if you attend a school or one of the middle schools that are not going to have lockers, no need to panic or worry. But if you do, there will always be someone who help you, even if it is me, myself, or one of the other school counselors at your school, or teachers, or anyone who's pretty good with numbers. They'll be able to help you there. It'll be good to write it down and rewrite it. Just don't write it on your on your hands and stuff, because anybody can get it. So you want to keep your locker combination, if you have lockers, to yourself, but not on yourself. Okay. All right. Making new friends is something that you might be worried about. Well, once again, I think if you come with the mindset that I'm going to try to get the best grades that I can, then you might meet some friends who might be on the same path and goal as you, and you can be friends with those. Or I even tell, if you want to learn how to be great friends, become friendly and start off as a great classmate. When you become a good classmate, then you become that person who is someone that other people want to be friends with. So that's a good way to be. Being positive is also one. Going from being oldest to youngest students in the school. Yes, in the 5th grade, you are the leader of the pack. So when you get into middle school, you are somewhat you're the youngest. So that's something that you have to get used to. You might meet a study buddy or somebody who might be in the 7th and 8th grade who can welcome you and serve as a mentor. It will be a long day. Yes, it will not be that long. You will get over it. If you just think about positive things while you're here, to have fun, to learn, and to be engaged, I'm telling you, the day will go quick. I don't even remember going to work today because it just went so quick. It was so much fun and so much activity to be there. Getting the class on time. Once again, I would establish the idea that you want to be early, and you also want to meet people such as friends who might have a sense of direction and a sense of time to get to the class on time as well. My locker will get stuck. Well, sometimes that might happen, but we have personnel in every middle school in the county that will help you get into your locker. So be not afraid or too worried about that, even though that is a worry. Getting lost in the building is once again one of those things that we will do to help you get acclimated. Some cyber issues, but once again, we have a IT, which is instructional technology and a technology individual who will help with those cyber issues if you have internet problems. Peer pressure is a big deal in middle school. However, it is also a peer push to do good. So you can also be a part of a group of small groups. Some counselors have small groups that can help you meet friends, make friends, and deal with peer pressure. Or our teachers will also be inclined to help with social issues in the class, as we also do social emotional learning. So yes, peer pressure is something that is always there, but there are ways to overcome it. No recess. Well, the reality is that some opportunities will arise where recess will be granted. So be not afraid or worried about that, because I think I was outside once or twice today because there was recess. So, and what about the idea I won't pass the 5th grade and might not make it to middle school? Well, I will tell you this. If you meet with your teachers, if you show them the importance of passing and moving on, and do what you can to create an action plan for academic growth and development, I guarantee you that there's something that can be done. And bullies, well, I would say that is something that worries a lot of middle school students. Yet there is an opportunity for students and your students to understand that we, as educators and as counselors, we seek to provide a positive school climate and work environment. So if, and in the event of bully being reported, there is an automatic action plan that is laid out at each school that will allow for there to be an investigation and for bullying to stop. And we have a lot of different plans and protocols for those things to not take place. Dealing with too many teachers. Well, I believe in sixth grade, a lot of teachers are very acclimated and very friendly, and they are inclined to understand the adjustments from fifth grade. So fifth graders, yes, you will be successful if you learn how to treat each teacher the same and show them that you're really eager to learn more about what needs to be learned in that class. I guarantee you that the teachers will go as far as they can to help you be successful. And then getting in all done homework and including homework in time, I believe that that will come with you being in class on time and learning everything that you can. So keep a pen ready, keep a notebook, or keep your tablet or your laptop powered up, be ready to take notes, and you can release some of those tensions and alleviate some of your worries. Now, lastly, my particular segment is just how parents can help. One of the things that parents can do to help is to understand that it is normal for your child to be a little bit nervous and to know that it's okay to be a little bit nervous about middle school. Another thing that parents can do to help is to help your child manage homework time and maybe have a schedule or opportunity where your child can know when it's homework time. I don't know what that might be, but I would say a designated time where there's a solid focus on homework, and show interest in your child's studies. Talk daily about what they're doing in school, what they're seeing in school, what kind of friends are they making in school, what is the teacher doing, and what is the teacher's response to their work that they do daily. Also discuss ideas and feelings about school, studies, and activities, and all that. Also, I will say this is not on the slide. Encourage your students to check in every now and then with the school counselor. Not that school counselors we're out to get anybody, or that we want to do anything to we want to be involved, and I know I want to know what students are getting academically, behaviorally, and socially. There may be a club, there might be a friend that I could introduce them to if they seem to be struggling with for peer pressure or different things like that. They can always come to the school counselor, and it doesn't have to be anything beyond anything beyond what it needs to be. And organize a study area where supplies are handy. So these are great ways that parents can help, and we assure you that this will create the most positive, effective student that can be in the sixth grade moving forward as they enter into their middle school career, academic career.
That's still bright, Mr. Cunningham.
Okay, so I guess we will go also into slide 9 where we talk about, and these are some more tidbits on how you parents can help. And I really think that this is really good information here. Read all the information that comes from the school district. In other words, there is a variety of communique that will be shared with parents via newsletters. And also, the school has a variety of parent outreach that can help parents connect. I would definitely say that the more that parents get connected, then the more output and positivity can come from their child's experience. Contact teachers and counselors periodically and just know what's going on and see if, because sometimes the counselors have resources, and sometimes counselors and teachers might need to advocate on your child's behalf in order to get alternative assessments or assignments or missing assignments or tutoring. All of those things is where teachers and counselors can collaborate. So there's no harm in periodically contacting your teachers and counselors. Be sure your child attends school regularly and on time. Attendance is a really big part of the education process. and knowing that your child is at school and in attendance, not partially, but fully, that can help provide an opportunity for your student to excel and also be engaged as much as you would want them to be. Know your child's friends, know who they're hanging with, and the reality is that your child may go through a variety of spurts when it comes to friendships. They may be with one group in September, and by November they're with a new group, and by the end of the year they have a new set of friends. So the goal is just to constantly know who these friends are, and just ensure that as a parent and as a counselor and as a teacher, we create that umbrella of support to ensure that these groups of friends and students are able to be facilitated and also grow healthy in their development as sixth graders. Make it clear that they must follow school rules. And a lot of the fifth graders going to sixth graders know that rules rule the school. So it's important to consider the school rules. You, as a parent, it'd be great to be that extra administrator at home and just say, hey, we're going to go over the school rules with you, just so that you don't have to hear them from, repeatedly from the administrators or the teachers, and you can add to the positivity that comes from school. And lastly, encourage your students to get to know their counselor. I think I brought that up, but I guess we're repeating it, just to get to know their counselor. And as a counselor, it's important just to know the student, but it's really good when the students know their counselor, and then it adds that added benefit of having trusted adults in their life and helping assist them in their development as they reach forward to their adolescent years in 7th, 8th grade, and even in high school.
All right, good afternoon, parents, and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Mrs. Robinson, 6th grade counselor at Edwards Middle School. So the first slide that I will focus on is social media. Social media is very common, I will say, in the middle school, especially with Instagram. And although it's a personal parent decision if you allow your student to participate with social media, we just ask that you speak with your child about what he or she is posting. I always like to refer back to the word think, and I use it as an acronym. The T for, is it true? Okay, what they're posting. This is something that the students can think about. Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? And most importantly, is it kind? And if they cannot answer a yes to those 5 questions, then they probably should not be posting it. Okay. And also reminding them that what they post, others can see it. Some students believe that if they delete it quickly, then it's no longer out there. And that's not the case, because while they may have deleted it, someone could have already shared it, and someone could have also sent someone else a screenshot. Okay, so we just want to reiterate to students that kindness goes a long way. Okay, some of the major differences in middle school: more is going to be expected of a 6th grader. So they're going to have to exhibit that independency. They're going to have to advocate for themselves. For example, if he or she knows that they have not done well on a particular assignment, then they should be able to have that confidence that they can go to that teacher and ask them, can they redo that task? They're going to need social skills in order to appropriately interact or engage with others. They're going to have more classes, more teachers, which Miss Key will discuss later, and then more opportunities, which were discussed earlier, those organizations, those clubs, participating in those sports. And most importantly, one may ask, how might my child be able to manage stress? Well, here's some examples, but some that's just kind of stood out. Self limitations, don't take on more than you can handle. While Johnny might be able to handle football in his classes, Mark may not be able to do so. Okay. Time management. I used to always tell my students when I was teaching, it's better to keep up than to catch up. Don't wait until the last minute. Don't procrastinate. Sleep habits are very important as well. I've had students to tell me, Miss Robinson, I go to sleep at midnight. I wouldn't be able to make it if I went to sleep at midnight. And then having a healthy diet is another. I see students sometimes in the cafeteria, they're not eating lunch, but they're eating those hot fries and Doritos and just need to have a balanced diet. And then also perhaps getting some exercise. Those are some examples. And reducing the noise level. Earlier, someone mentioned about having a quiet and organized workspace. So these are just some examples of how students can manage their stress.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Miss Key, and I'm the sixth grade school counselor at Memorial Middle School. Today, we're going to be going over first slide, which is understanding your class schedule. It's so different, boys and girls and parents, from elementary school. So we got to make sure that we're being prepared. And the first thing I will let you know is that you still will have your regular math and science and social studies and English. You'll still have those same subjects in middle school as you did in elementary. However, the classes will seem a bit longer and you will go to different teachers for these particular classes. You will also have something called connections. It's different, but it's the same. In elementary, these are called specials. Well, in middle school, they're called connections. So you just got to learn how to switch your mind frame on what those are called. You'll have a homeroom class, and you'll also have a study skills class. That is directly after homeroom. In that class, sometimes you'll have a social emotional learning lesson, and that is similar to what your counselor does on Fridays in the elementary school during the first part of the day, where she might come in and talk about ways to act appropriately. So that would be an example of a social emotional learning lesson. So in study skills, you'll have that sometimes on Fridays, and you'll also have just time to prepare and study more and go over particular topics that you may need some more assistance with. Another thing is that on Mondays, you're going to have every single one of your classes: homeroom, study skills, math, language arts, science, social studies, and connections. Now, you're going to have 2 connection classes. Those classes are either PE or art or music, band, things of that nature. So on Mondays, we need to remember that we have both of those connection classes. We also operate on an A and B day schedule. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you're going to go to all of your classes except for one of your connection classes. You will only attend your A day connection. And on the next slide, you'll be able to see what the schedule looks like, so you'll have a little bit more understanding of what I'm talking about. On Wednesdays and Fridays, you will have your B day connection, and you will only go to your B day connection. This is a sample of the 6th grade schedule. It looks like a lot. Don't be overwhelmed. We will walk you through. We'll make sure you understand it. And before the first week is over, you guys will be ready to. So if you look on the left-hand side, there's an M at the very top. That day is Monday. So you're going to see your homeroom schedule, your homeroom teacher, and then you're going to see 1 through 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is your regular core classes: English, math, social studies, and science. 6 and 7 are connection classes. And again, on Monday, we go to both of those connection classes. And connections are also the same thing as specials, just as a reminder. When you look in the middle, that is the A day. So all of your classes always remain the same, 1 through 5, but your sixth period class will be your A day connection. So say you have music and PE. On Mondays, you will go to music and PE, and on Tuesdays for the A schedule, you will go only to music. The last column is B day. You will go to all of your connection courses. You will go to all of your main courses, math, science, social studies, and English. And then you will go to your B day connection, which would be PE. It seems very confusing. It looks confusing, but it's very simple. A lot of times I will write Monday at the top where the M is, so the students know that on Mondays, only follow this side. The middle is A, and I will write Tuesdays and Thursdays right there beside the A, so they know on Tuesdays and Thursdays, they only follow that middle section, which is only A day connection. And then on B day, I will write at the top Wednesdays and Fridays, because you need to know that on Fridays that you only go to that particular connection class. So that is the connection. That's the way the schedules look. It's a little bit confusing, but I promise you, you guys will understand it and know it before the first week of class. Grades and tests. So grading and tests. The whole entire year, you will have 14 grades in a year. You will have several other grades throughout the year, but your final grade is what we're talking about when we say 14 grades in a year. So the first part of the semester is August through December. So you will go through your regular courses, and you will receive a report card at the end of December. And that will be for all of your classes that you took. You will also do final exams in December. The second half of the year will be the second semester, and that is considered the spring semester. It is January through May. You will take those same courses, but your connection classes, which are also called specials, will change. So you will have a new set of connection classes. So you will get a chance to learn what those are. And then at the end of May, you will take final exams. And then students will also take the Georgia milestones in April and or May, depending upon that school. But parents will be notified prior to, and students will also be notified prior to, so that they can prepare. So again, there are 14 grades in the whole entire year, and that's the final grades, not grading assignments. You'll have a lot of those, but all of your tests that you take throughout the year, all of your homework grades and your classwork grades make up the 14 grades for the total of the year. The last slide is lunch at middle school. I know this is going to be very different from elementary school. You can still pack your lunch just like you can in elementary school. The great thing that I have heard a lot of the sixth grade students being excited about is that they have pizza every single day as an option if you would like. They also have salads, and they have a hot lunch selection. So there's typically 3 different choices for you all to choose of which you decide to eat lunch that day. Please remember your lunch ID. You're going to need to know this. It is the last 5 digits of your student ID number. That will be your lunch number. And then the basic social time, you're going to have time to sit and talk to your peers respectfully. You're going to be in a larger class, larger cafeteria room. COVID has changed a little bit of things, but hopefully when the new start of the year in August, we will be able to get back to normal and be able to socialize with our particular classes in the lunchroom and enjoy. I'm looking forward to meeting you all who are coming over to Memorial Middle School. And I appreciate your parents and your support tonight. Thank you.
I'm Noemi Seymour, and I am a school counselor at Davis Middle School, and I'm going to tell you that you're going to receive more information than you probably wish to. Infinite Campus is your parenting tool. Parents are going to receive information from the school via Infinite Campus. All the grades and assignments are going to be posted in Infinite Campus, but it's also your attendance tool. So if you set it up for notifications. It'll notify you when your child is absent, or you can ask it to notify you when new grades are put in. Our principal uses Remind for daily things like if there's a late bus going home, but all of the teachers send things through Remind. Our school sends things out through social media, and also listen for the Sunday call from the district and principal. Sometimes it can be a lot, so please don't shut us off, because then you'll be left out of all the information we do push out. So please make sure that you dedicate at least a part of your day to reviewing your emails and calls, and looking, some parents look at Infinite Campus once a week. And this are an example of Remind. That's the app symbol, the little cloud. And these are the Rockdale County Public Schools Message Center. You'll see a message center in Infinite Campus as well. Okay, so this is an example of what an assignment looks like from the parent's point of view. If you can see, there's a drop down, so you may be able to toggle between the parent view and the student view. There's announcements, but the weekly overview has the arrow showing a missing assignment. So it tells you that your student did not turn it in when it was due. And then there's a grade posted with the red arrow showing the posted grade. And there's a little bell at the top with a number 2. That means that's a notification. Okay, this home has 2 students. So as a parent, you only need to set up the one account, and it should populate both of the household. So make sure that you check to see your student is reflected correctly with multiple siblings. Okay, available in to parents in Infinite Campus, we have assignments, grades, and remember, attendance. So attendance goes by course period. So if you check out early or check in late, that'll be reflected by course. So you'll see every course may have a different attendance. So that's a way to also monitor whether your child was in class. Additional information that you can check is our website. A lot of the questions that I answered tonight were from the website, especially I had a lot of parents asking how you could find out where your student is zoned and where the bus is. That is on the Rockdale County Public Schools website under parents, and then it'll say school zone and bus pickups. Thank you for joining us tonight.
All right, parents, we know you received a lot of information tonight. I'd like to thank the counselors for sharing information with you. So like Ms. Seymour said, we want to direct you all to the Rockdale County Public Schools website. We definitely want our parents visiting the RCPS website frequently, and there it is for you, rockdaleschools.org. If you click on schools, we want you to find your future middle school. So that is an assignment that we're giving to you all. We want you all to find your future middle school. Parents, we want you to become acquainted with your child's future middle school site. Visit it often and find out what's going on at the school. Just peruse the site. Students, if you are on, this is what we would like for you to do. We want you to talk to your parents. We want you to just talk to your parents about middle school, talk to them about how you feel. We also want families to read the district parent handbook. You all will receive that information next school year, a link to it, but we want you to just become familiar with it. Every year, the handbook is updated. You should have read it at the beginning of this school year, but we really want you all to read the district handbook so that you can become aware of just policies and just different information. Now, here we go. We want to share this information with you. Now, this information that we are sharing is just generalized information. The school that your child will go to will provide specific information. This is generalized information about the transition, just social emotional information, just some high level information for you to begin to talk to your child about the transition from elementary school to middle school. Consider this your conversation starter. So tomorrow, Davis Middle School will have a rising sixth grade night. That information, can you all still see the slides? You can't. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Can you see the slides now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So tomorrow evening, Davis Middle School will have their rising sixth grade night. Memorial Middle will have theirs on April 21st. And Edwards Middle School will send out information to all of the elementary school counselors on April 11th. And the elementary school counselors will then share that information with the students. So this is how you families will receive specific information about the middle schools. And when I say specific information about the middle schools, this is how you all will receive information about your child's school, specific rules, just direct information about your child's school. Again, keep in mind, everything that we shared is high-level district information. Okay, so
Miss Cobb,
yes.
on the slide it said 4:30 for Davis, but it's
Oh,
going
I'm
to
sorry,
be
it's 3:30. It is
yes.
3:30 for Davis. It is 3:30.
Yes.
We are going to go ahead and answer the locker question right now. As of this year, none of the schools had lockers. The schools, when you attend these specific school nights, the schools will answer the locker question. We will not answer the locker question. This is not the local school night. The local schools will answer the questions about lockers. Okay. Conyers Middle School will post their night on their website. If they're having a night, they will post it on their website. And that's why we want you all to continue to look. We'll continue to look on that site. So what we want to do now, the slides are off. We have finished with the slides. We are going to stop recording at this point.